Hi, I'm Pritesh Patel, and today I'm going to outline the approach that I have taken with my current team to ensure that roles and responsibilities are clearly communicated, understood, and measured. So, upon joining the new role in the initial phase, I took the time to understand from my staff what priorities and daily routines they were working on. Simultaneously, I was also working very closely with my manager to thoroughly grasp business goals expected to be achieved within the current financial year. Based on the analysis, I was able to identify three subsections in my team's work. First were team's goals and priorities that were aligned with the business goals. Second were team actions that were not aligned with the business goals. And third, business as usual activities that the team needed to do for supporting the overall work they required to do. This analysis helped me thoroughly identify the gaps as well as misalignments between team and the business goals. This exact this is exactly what I needed to do to work with. One of my direct report was also managing an individual, hence I needed to broaden my scope to include different layers of hierarchy. I continued with weekly one-on-one catch-ups or team meetings with my team to ensure communication flow continues at the right level. I also developed the key performance indicators for the data quality manager, one of my direct reports, who was also managing the person, to measure a number of index corrections, data migration corrections, data linking, etc., which were the tasks, and how many of them were done in a week on monthly basis. Furthermore, I also organized monthly stakeholder meetings with the information technology team to follow up on system enhancements that were requested by the data quality manager before me joining the role, and just to keep a track and monitor how those actions were going and where we were at, and what were the expected outcomes in coming months and weeks and so on. And it was more to understand where those actions were stuck, if they were stuck, and how I can help them to remove the barriers and make sure that those actions are fulfilled in a timely manner. Next, so for monitoring purpose, I had also created a shared Excel spreadsheet with my direct reports, which they would fill in daily with the stats or statistics, which will go through in detail and capture everything that they do, and then that would we would discuss that in our weekly catch-ups. So through this process, I was able to identify the main root cause of the data corrections that were required, which were mainly from data migration that had happened when we migrated from the legacy system to the new system, and certain manual functions that were required for that data linking. For my second direct report, quality compliance officer, the main task of the person was to maintain document control of the registry. The person was new in the role, so I took that opportunity to mentor the incumbent of the registry's document control system. I also developed SLAs on a review process of policies and procedures. So what we did and how we did is we categorized the documents into t-shirt sizes, like small, medium, and large. Now, registry's document system has got over 700 documents in the system. So it's a quite large document control system for a person to manage. And by dividing them in sizes, it actually helped us put service level agreements that with which we can measure so many documents. So what we did is we decided number of days required to add a procedure of a size of small, medium, or large, the maximum number of days that could be allowed, and where we needed to finish that work in what time frame. And also we decided on the number of days that reviews should take. So how it works is, once a document is written, it goes through multiple people for review and testing of the document to make sure that if that the particular document is fit for purpose or not. So subject matter expert writes the document, another subject matter expert reviews it, then the tester tests the document to see if the documents flows well, reads well, or they understand what they need to do, and so on. So we also put service level agreements around how much time each reviewer should take for what size of the document. For each task, allocated time slot was provided to the incumbent of the position at quality compliant officer, quality compliance officer. And if the task was not allocated, that person was required to follow up with the reviewer or tester, whoever that could be, and then monitor it. And if the task was still left incomplete, they needed to escalate it to me. So after first follow-up, if no response was received um, by the incumbent from the reviewers or testers, they would generally escalate it to me, and then I would liaise it with the top management. That's how I created a system wherein I could clearly understand what was going on in my team, how I could measure it, and with my daily, weekly catch ups, I could clearly communicate with them and understand the perspectives that they held, as well as the inputs or feedback that we received from the entire business. Thank you.